What's happening, all my woods people? We just actually received a blessing from the Northwest.
We did, to an extent. The wind's blowing from the southeast.
Is it?
Yeah, but it came from the northwest. It's just one of those
Looks like
deals.
a northwest to me.
Well, it wasn't my house earlier, so who knows? We got a lot of weather going, so it's just whipping around.
It was so muggy this morning.
That's probably true. If your house is whistling, it's probably from the northwest. Yeah.
We got my buddy out in the Fort Worth area had the front way before we did, so I just figured kind of. But, dude, it is some fall-like weather out there.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't this morning first thing. I walked outside and I was like, well, the front didn't hit last night, but it's nice right now. And it's a little sunny, but it still feels pretty good.
It was 96 yesterday.
Yeah, it was sweltering 96.
It was terrible,
It was real
man.
bad. It was real bad. I don't know. But we have got some special stuff going on right now. So, it's a ton of hunting. Of course, this time of year, we're getting rocking and rolling. We're about to head to South Dakota. But right now, over on the YouTube, some really special things are happening right now.
Ranch Buck series is popping. So a lot of you guys are in tune with what's going on. Really appreciate that. The Ranch Buck series is about a buck that I shot last year on a property that I was finally able to purchase my own kind of property, not just for hunting, but to hunt on. And shot a deer last year, and we're just now getting the series out. But it's a 95 minute, I think, full film. So we cut it down into 10 parts. The 10th part will release Thursday this week, which is September 23rd. And it'll be the full 95-minute length deal. So all these are premieres. All of you guys are hopping on the live chat, hanging out with us, and have that opportunity as well. And so we've still got a few more parts here before this releases. Tonight, and this is on a Tuesday, we're going to have a really cool episode, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we get some of the best footage of the entire year of a buck that many people have been fooled so far into thinking is the buck that I shot, but it's not. It's just another giant 10-point mainframe deer. I think he comes out and gives me some really good footage, and this time I decided to pass him. I actually came to full draw on him a couple episodes ago. So if you haven't seen this stuff, go back and watch part 1 all the way through. You'll be a little less frustrated than some of our other people who can only watch it one part in a day. You'll get to watch like 7 parts in one day.
That's been too much frustration. I think people like the short, digestible videos.
Yeah.
Like people just... Oh, it takes 6 to 8 minutes to watch a part. It's pretty fun deal, really. Like, kind of get on there and get on the live. We've been doing these on premieres, and we'll do that again, pretty much for every video throughout. And you get on there and kind of mess around with everybody and joke a little bit, and then things get real serious with a big deer, and then it's all over. It's really pretty fun. It's kind of a little cool atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm actually going to release. So like the 10th part, like I said, is the actual full film, but I'm going to release the 10th part as its own part later on, just in case there's people who don't want to have to pick through all the other stuff to see it. So something that is more in that, like you said, digestible range. But anyway. We wanted to talk a little bit about that. We want to talk about what we're kind of got going on our properties this year. And frankly, right now they're pretty slow. We've got a lot of does. But you and I actually, you're a helpful guy, and you were able to help me out the other day. Saturday, you came over, and I had a few limbs that I needed to get rid of, which is, man, talk about some different contrast to a public land hunt.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So to give you all a little background, if you watched part 5 or 6, what did we just do last night?
Last night was 7.
7. Yep. Okay, so part 7, you're hunting out of a really big tree, and the big buck is at 49 yards.
Yeah,
and you can see like the shooting lane you have, and you can see the stuff that's kind of in the way. If he was closer and this and that, that's what you and I went and worked on.
Yeah.
Because the idea is a deer equal to the size of him is going to be there every year. So we need to make sure that you can get your shot off, right, from that tree.
Hopefully. We cleared limbs. I got up there in the cruiser, which we have like 100 ropes from cruiser right now.
It's good.
So it's good.
I'm going to start using them for trot lines.
There you go. I lost one in Nebraska the night that I killed. And I
you kind of have this tradition, really.
Just lose something
of
when
like,
you kill.
yeah, when you kill, you lose a saddle rope.
So I should have known I was going to kill because I lost it before I ever killed.
Oh, you should have known.
Yeah.
I should have went and filmed you then.
I went
we
in
need
and
to keep up with that a little bit.
I had to take my lineman's belt and turn it into a tether. And so I did that and killed a deer.
There you go.
And anyway, I took the cruiser up into a stand that I had hung a few weeks ago, and KC did some pole sawing for me, and we got the lanes cleared out, and so I'm ready now. And last year, I don't think the bucks really showed up till like late October, and I think a lot of people around here get that same deal, where if a buck doesn't summer on you, which they summer in very specific locations,
very
usually
small areas. I think, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm starting to figure out. And when you're talking about the private land game like this, you're just limited to a small amount of property most of the time, So if they're not on you, you don't know what they're doing or what's going on.
Nope. You're just waiting on November.
After you talk to people, it's like, okay, it seems as if they're living on 10 acres or less all summer long.
I know, man. It's crazy. I think some same thing. I'm realizing that this small property or small amount of land that they're living on in the summer, they don't want to move when it's 96 like it was yesterday. And so, which also, by the way, it felt like 102, I think.
It was a humid nasty. Yeah.
So I've got one, little buck that's literally smaller bodied than the does that I have. But he's got 8 points.
I got a
he's
Forky,
been running around.
Kind of the same scenario.
Yep.
He's kind of in that age gap where he's like, I don't know if I belong with these girls over here, or like he's kind of hanging out around the does, but not really with them.
Yeah.
I got some daylight pigs, so that's
too.
not fun. One of the things that I need to do to my property is get that feeder pen built. I've been kind of poor, but you could say, but dragging my feet on it, and and this and that, but I kind of have a spot now. I also didn't really know where to put it, but I've decided central property is probably the best place for it. And I got one good pine tree I can hunt out of that'll give me a decent shot to it. So kind of got a plan for that.
Are you going to get it done before South Dakota?
I'm aiming for that. Yes, that is my intention.
You've been hitting everything you aim at lately.
I have, somewhat. At least when you're there. I've been shooting. I like shoot long range, as y'all probably know. That's just kind of my strategy for being a good archer is if I can hit things at 60 and 70, then I feel real good at 20. Not that I don't take the, practice those from time to time, because I did this morning. But it's also a real good way to ruin some arrows. Anyways, before, when I was getting my kinks worked out on this bow, I was sailing a few here and there and having to go do some digging in the grass. When you shoot broadheads, it ain't just that we're losing vector arrows. We losing expensive broadheads too. So, yeah. Anyways, but I plan on constructing that hog-proof barrier. I'm thinking about, I don't know. I know you had good luck with those panels, but I'm thinking about trying like goat wire and just seeing if it's tough enough. Like, are they going to really tear it down to get to the corner or not? I don't know.
Well, they say buy once, cry once.
They do, but I'm going to cry no matter what.
It ain't that expensive.
Yeah.
It ain't that bad. Especially when you look at all the investment you have in deer, man, and the corn and everything else, and the hogs eating the corn. It ain't that bad. And I don't even miss it now. I don't miss that money at all.
It's good.
Anyway, but you did have a good buck earlier this summer.
Yeah, one time.
I
don't understand.
I think we were doing a video,
that was the trail camera flash video.
Red versus black flash.
That was way longer than what it probably should have been. But it was a cool video nonetheless. I'm hoping, because I would shoot that deer. He's just a solid East Texas 8-point that's not too thin.
Yeah.
So hopefully he just remembers that there's food up on my property somewhere and he'll come back. I'm also about to put a camera on my persimmons, and I think those will probably start dropping while we're gone. So maybe I'll have some insight. We might get back on the 8th, and I'll hunt Saturday morning the 9th and shoot a deer on my property. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Man, that'd be a good relief, too.
I might get back on the 2nd and be done, tagged out and everything.
Man, there's 6 deer on the 1st and come home.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love it.
Yeah.
But so that's, the kind of the property improvements. You're just a little more set up on yours than I am, as far as like understanding what's going on around here. And I think that your food source was a huge part of that. You know, so I think I'm going to take a page out of your book and just make sure I've got good food, that the hogs aren't raging all the time.
Yeah, the hogs, man, that's what ruins it all. I think. But anyway, so that's kind of the outlook of what we got going on right now on our personal properties. Not a whole lot, but we expect things to heat up near November, and about that time we'll be hunting every state at the same time.
That's
pretty
right.
much. But one thing that we've been thinking about and talking about lately a lot personally within our own group here in the Element, along with other, I guess you could call them outdoor brands, influencers, whatever else they are. We've been discussing with them. A lot of you people are starting to catch on as well and understand what's going on. But some of these big hunting channels and fishing channels have been, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word, censored. They're being demonetized because of certain styles of content. And a lot of people that are being demonetized are not understanding really why they are, according to policies that have been previously put out.
The demonetization is the worst when it comes to being a content creator, for lack of a better term, for a person who videos their hunts and tries to do it for a living like what we're doing, or even the bigger channels, of course, because it's not that they took you off so that you have an end. Whenever you're demonetized, all your videos are still up. You just don't have a flow of income. So you're like, what do I do? You know, and what are you going to do to me?
Yeah.
And wait, you're making money off of me because you're still running ads on those videos, but I'm not getting those. It's
Who's getting the money?
Yeah, where's that going? Yeah,
getting 100% on my content. Some of these guys are getting like crazy amounts of views. You know what I mean? So like, it's a big deal. Like people, you don't get to advertise on an athlete for free very often, you know what I mean, or something like that. And not that these guys are quite in that league, but some of them have some crazy amounts of views, and it's just like, we haven't, to clarify, we have not been demonetized, and I hope that we don't.
On a broad scale. We've had some videos throughout what we do be demonetized. And I guess before we get too far down that trip, and I don't think we're going to just, beat this thing to death, but it's kind of a weird thing to talk about what we do and making money with it, because we love to do it, and I kind of wish that we could find a way to hunt as much as we do and not have to make.
I wish my dad had a bunch of money.
I know, exactly.
I'll be straight up honest with y'all. And if you got a dad that makes much money, I got no qualms with you. I seriously wish that I was just set up and I could do basically two things, and that's spread the gospel and hunt and fish, pretty much.
Sounds pretty good.
You know what I mean? That's what I would love to do.
We don't quite live that way. So in case y'all didn't realize this, Casey Smith and Tyler Jones are doing their best to make a living by doing the Element. Okay, so
currently we're making money off of YouTube.
We are,
but who knows what the future holds, because it's scary.
And here's the other thing, y'all. Just so you know, we haven't pocketed anything off of YouTube. We're putting everything that we can back into the Element so that we can grow this thing and have something that, maybe generationally is worth something. So yeah, but at the same time, we have placed ourselves in this bucket. However, it's a bad bucket to be in, where YouTube we live and die by that platform. So now it's like, what do you do? And I don't know. I think just by what's going on over here next to me, Tyler has got some comforting thoughts possibly to spit out. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know how comforting necessarily they are, but just some thoughts going forward, And I personally, I'm with you, man. Like we have placed ourselves in this YouTube bucket where we're kind of at the mercy of them a little bit. And we don't, for those who are kind of still maybe confused and we're not doing a good job of explaining it, basically YouTube has said that hunting content is too graphic or too shocking.
They did, but
to
they
monetize.
didn't.
They haven't really said it, but they're saying it by demonetizing videos. And I'm not sure exactly. Some of these guys, who knows, man? Some of these, I haven't looked at the catalog of any of these people. Like, I don't even really watch a whole lot of videos from any of these folks that I've seen be demonetized so far. But they could have put, it could be an AR-15 in the title or whatever that of a video that has gotten them flagged or something like
and
that.
And not that we are anti-gun. Y'all know that about us. But we're just saying like what YouTube is looking at.
Right.
You know?
Right. So I just wonder, for us, we've taken a few videos down. We did, I think, yesterday, but at the same time, we started thinking about it, and we haven't taken too many. We try not to jump the gun on this stuff, but at the same time, we don't want to lose all of what we make to have a few 3 or 4 videos on there that might make that an issue for us. So anyway, we're trying to navigate the situation, and for me, it makes me think that it would be good to reach out to some. And here at the podcast, we've got a bunch of you guys that are very smart fellers that listen, and smarter than us probably.
Some of you aren't,
possibly.
but we'd like to hear what you have to say as well.
Yeah. So the idea is that you guys, if you've got any advice, one thing I don't want to hear is y'all start a new platform for video content, because it is a massive undertaking, and we are not the people to do that.
Just financially can't do it.
There are other people in this place that are making 6 digits a month off of YouTube in the outdoor industry, and they are the people you need to go comment and tell that to, but not to us. We cannot do that. We also have looked at other places to land content, and there's not very many. And to be frank, I don't know. There's so much dynamic to this. But like I said, I don't want you guys to send that in. I want to know more. Should we take down any content with shotguns in it? What do you think? And why? And why?
And not
just what you
your red-blooded American opinion,
yes.
but your business-wise. We Tyler and I don't want to take down anything. Otherwise, we wouldn't have put it out in the first place, right? But there's some things that we might have to do just so that we keep going. But we're walking this fence of compromising who we are, and then also kind of bending the knee to say, right, because you have to sooner or later, if you're going to use somebody's platform, which is a private business, you have to comply with what they do, or you don't use it anymore. And that's right. That's understandable.
Yeah. So let's not get too, like you said, red, white, and blue about this thing. Let's just think about it wisely. And that brings me to think about this real quick. And these are a couple of verses that I heard during our Sunday sermon this past Sunday morning that I just wanted to share real quick. This is Proverbs 12:15. It says, "The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice." And then we've got one other one here in Proverbs 15:22. It says, "Without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors they succeed." So, in other words, fool despises advice. A wise man listens to advisors, and usually that would be in a church setting would be people that are elders, or typically men who have lived a little bit longer and seen a lot of things more than a young man would. And so I guess with that, what I'm asking for you guys to do is to give us some wise advice and what we should do moving forward. Maybe even you have some counsel as to a platform that we are not wise to that is kicking off. Maybe you guys listen to the Randy Newberg podcast and he said something that you think could be useful to us.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to Randy in a while. So
on that one in particular, Randy's on Amazon, and if you think it's worth us going through the efforts to get our videos on Amazon, let us know, because, it seems like a pretty viable platform at the moment.
It's kind of the next best option maybe right now, but it's still also like it's a paid
you never
platform,
know. You never know when Jeffrey's like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm taking that away.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. And then maybe just even some advice and thoughts on what we should do going forward as hunters and fishermen. I know that always the thought is politically, but there are other things we can do. And so just let's think about what we can do to put this thing that we believe in, we do so much, into a good light, and for others to see it a little more like we see it. And it's got to be practical. And that's what's tough about this, because it's not practical for most guys to spend their 3 days off a year hunting with some guy that has no clue how to hunt. You know what I mean? I know we would all like to say we want to mentor, But when it comes down, the rubber meets the road. Like, it's a tough thing to do for guys who don't, especially guys that don't get a lot of free time off of work, So I understand that if that's something. But let's just think about it. Let's just really put our heads together on this. Send us messages on Instagram or an email or on Facebook.
You can go to our website, too, and just fill out the contact us thing at the bottom. It gives you a text box to put stuff in there. It'll probably be pretty easy.
And we're not trying to make a killing off this stuff. We're not demonetized on YouTube. We kind of fly under the radar maybe a little bit right now, and hopefully we continue to do that until things cool down. But one way you can support us preemptively in case something does happen would be to buy merch. We've got lots of new shirts and some sweatshirts left still.
Hoodies are cool, man.
Yeah. So that is something we really it really helps us out. With you guys doing stuff like that for us. So in that, we will stop talking about this YouTube stuff because it's not fun to think about. We've been thinking about it a lot the last few days. Hopefully we can find a way out of this whole censorship era that we're in right now and just one last thing. The thing that's tough about the censorship game is that there needs to be censorship. You know what I mean? There are some things in this world I think that should be hidden from the eyes of men, especially with the way that we think about things and the way that our emotions work and everything. And then there are things that should be hidden from children, especially too. I think.
But in that, I don't want an entity doing the censorship because they can't be trusted. Are
you saying the government or the private sector?
Either one.
Okay.
I want to be the one who does the censoring, but even beyond that, there's some things that shouldn't be created. And that's where the censorship really comes in, where it's like,
right.
Yeah, it'd be great for YouTube to make sure that I can't see a bikini lady, right? Mm. But what would really be great is for people to have the personal conviction to not do stuff like that and put it on YouTube.
We know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's right.
So the issue is there has to be some private entity that has the censorship to. No, there doesn't have to be, but if I was going to let my kids watch TV, I would only let them watch something that has been censored. In some fashion, so that I can trust.
But you have control over them.
Sure.
Well, I think the ideal thing that YouTube could do in this scenario is to give you a disclaimer and allow people who want to view the content to view the content.
The following is graphic.
Yeah.
Or whatever they like. That's what they've done with TV for forever. Why can't they do it with YouTube? I agree. But. I guess I'm saying this because ideally a new platform for hunting and fishing, could be created, but there would have to me, if I was to create my own platform to put hunting and fishing content on and I was going to let everybody jump in on it, I would also say, sorry, no nudity. You know what I mean? If I was to create that platform, I would censor. Mm. So it's not necessarily that censorship is bad in its own right, but it's the values, kind of like what you're saying. The values with who is censoring is what matters, and so those are things that we're gonna struggle to work through and may never work through. But that's what we all know the story of the conservative social media that was completely done away with in the last year or so, destroyed. Said nope. You're not doing this, even though millions of people a week are jumping on this platform.
What was the name of that thing?
Parler, I believe.
Parler, that's right. Yeah.
Destroyed. They literally wiped it off the face of the earth. Yep. That's frustrating.
And that's your boy Jeffrey, who we're talking about being the second best platform that we could have.
Yeah, it's scary, dude. It's scary, and that's where we run into things. Is what was wrong with that platform? I don't know for sure, but it's got to be. Yeah, it just depends on who you are, but it's got to be a better platform than some of these other ones that are thriving right now. Mm. So, anyway, I said we're going to stop 5 minutes ago, but we're stopping now.
That's right. So, guys, every evening, kind of right after supper time, Ranch Book Series is rolling through Thursday, and then hunting season is on the horizon after that. I think probably Friday would be October 1st. Is that right? Or in Texas, it's going to be the second or third.
Yeah, it's Friday or something
for opener.
I think the second is opener in Texas.
Yeah.
And so that's
a lot of places. October 1's an opener. So, I mean, you probably, just so you have an idea of like what you need to be kind of working on right now, you need to be shooting good with your bow. Like, you need to be in check. You need to know how your bow flies with broadheads on it. And you need to know what you want out of your season. And you need to know where all your gear is.
Yeah, yep. And where you going over the day.
Where you going to be hunting. Yeah. So we're
sure.
working on that stuff a lot right now. So get over on YouTube tonight and watch this premiere.
Yeah. Also, KC has a video releasing at the end of this month.
You've got another deer kill too, though.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah. I don't know when that's going to release, actually, but I killed a deer on public land in Kansas last year, and the video has not been released. So that's still to come. And KC had some pretty cool hunts. If you're a Texas public land guy, you'll appreciate this. If you're an Illinois public land guy, you won't care about this at all because there's some pencil horn 8s in this video. But he had some really cool hunts with some almost legal deer and some legal deer. Late in the season last year, you were really all over them. You just couldn't quite close the deal.
One of which we may have on camera already.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Looks like some legal bucks might go down in Texas pretty soon.
It's like the first night that we put the trail camera out, dude, on a creek crossing. That was based off information you found while hunting.
Secondary creek crossing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is right, man. Man, that's cool, though. But that's going to release on the 26th, I think. So we got lots of content coming up. And then from there, it's like it's starting to happen where stuff releases that is from this season outside of just Nebraska. So it's coming up quick, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us and listening to the episode. I know there was some deep stuff, some different stuff, but hopefully you guys will go watch the Ranch series, especially the big, long episode that releases Thursday. Hang out with us on the live chat. Make sure you're subscribed here on the podcast as well as on YouTube, and then we will see going forward on YouTube how that works for us.
And on that part 10, remember, if you really like to support us, you can do this. If you just want to watch it, I understand, or you just want to see Tyler shoot the deer, I get it. But if you want some of that inside info that we'd appreciate, let that whole thing run and watch the end of it too, because that watch time helps us out a lot on YouTube. So if you got time, let that thing run or watch the end of it or whatever you want to do first, and then let it run through the whole thing, because that'll help us out a ton, guys.
We appreciate all the support from you guys. And remember, this is your element.
Live in it.